What if a single year could just change everything? Today, we're diving into a text that makes exactly that claim about 2026. It's a pretty wild prophecy, all attributed to a figure named Bhairav Baba, and it outlines a fundamental shift for all of humanity. So what exactly does it predict? Let's break it down.
The source material really doesn't ease into it. It opens with this incredibly powerful statement, framing 2026 as this huge, pivotal moment. And we're not talking about minor political or economic shifts here. The text is suggesting something way, way deeper, a complete rewiring of our collective experience.
So before we can really get into the what of the prophecy, we have to understand the who. All of this centers on this figure, Bhairav Baba. So who, or what, is this source according to the text? Okay, so the text describes Bhairav Baba as a fierce manifestation of the god Shiva. But here's the key part. His role isn't just to deliver a message. He's presented as the supreme guardian of cosmic time and order. Now that's a critical distinction. It positions him as the very engine of this prophesied change, not just the one announcing it.
When you look at these key attributes, a very specific picture starts to form, right? He's a guardian of the threshold, kind of like a gatekeeper between one age and the next. He's the master of cosmic cycles, or Kala, which is the Sanskrit word for time itself. So that suggests he's in control of destiny. He's a dispeller of illusion, here to tear away the veils of what we think is real. And maybe most importantly, he's an agent of destruction and rebirth. This isn't just about a simple change, it's about a complete dismantling to build something totally new.
So this all leads to the big question. Why 2026? What makes this specific year so significant? Well, according to the source, the date is anything but random. In fact, it's the linchpin of the entire prophecy.
The prophecy frames 2026 as the grand finale of a huge 72-year cosmic cycle. As you can see on this timeline, it starts way back in 1954, kicking off an era all about intense material development. Then, around 1990, things really accelerate with global interconnection. The text points to 2012 as a great shift, sort of a preparatory spiritual awakening for what's coming. And all of this has been building towards 2026, which is described as the Year of Revelation, the moment the cycle completes and the curtain is finally pulled back. Okay, so we've got the who and the why. Now for the most important part, the what. What specific changes does the source predict are actually going to happen during this Year of Revelation?
Now, this is a really crucial distinction to make. The prophecy isn't talking about earthquakes or asteroids. It's not some kind of external apocalypse. The transformation it describes is internal. It claims the primary shift is going to be psychological, happening first within our own minds, which then ripples out to completely reshape society. In short, it's a revolution of consciousness.
This slide illustrates perfectly the stark before and after picture the prophecy paints. On one side, you've got our current world, which the text argues is governed by hidden truths, hierarchies, and individualism. But then on the other side, you see the world after 2026, a society totally rebuilt on transparency, community, and spiritual well-being. It's not just a little change, it's a fundamental reversal of everything we're told to value.
The text doesn't just predict what will happen, it tells us how. It lays out this four-stage chain reaction. First, the unveiling, where long-held secrets in our global institutions are just revealed. This revelation then acts as a catalyst, triggering the structural collapse of old financial and power systems that just can't survive in the light of truth. Then, out of that chaos comes the awakening, a mass shift in human priorities away from just consuming things and towards connection. And all of this culminates in the new foundation, where humanity can finally start to rebuild society based on a whole new set of shared values.
So, after this really intense chain of events, unveiling, collapse, awakening, what's the end result? What does the world actually look like on the other side of this whole transformation?
So let's just put it all together. The prophecy claims that 2026 is the culmination of a 72-year cycle. The main driver isn't external, but an internal shift in human consciousness. This shift will then cause the collapse of our current global systems, ultimately leading to a new society built from the ground up on principles of transparency and community. That, in a nutshell, is the radical claim being made.
And this is the final question the source material leaves us with. Is this a literal prediction of events to come? Or is it maybe a powerful metaphor for the massive changes and anxieties we're already experiencing in our world? Or perhaps